Hello and welcome to your favorite channel Web Stories, where we have started a series of even true and real events that happened and shocked the world. We bring to you amazing, horrifying and shocking stories every day, most of which will be based on true stories and fiction. When Matt and Jodi Parry were raising their son Finlay, their lives were turned upside down one morning. The couple was overjoyed to learn that they were expecting another kid. The couple and their son had been looking forward to the day when their family would grow for months. When the big day finally arrived, the doctor had some major news for the parents. The diagnosis definitely took the whole family by surprise and changed their lives forever. In 2007, Jody, a police force employee, and Matt, a civil servant, tied the knot after several years of dating. Shortly after their union, the happy couple decided that they wanted to start a family together. Finally, their son was born in 2009. When Finlay was born, the couple was overjoyed since their family had grown from 2 to 3. Raising him was a delight and a dream come true for them. Finlay was the ideal son, adorable and playful. After Finlay was born, the couple decided it was time to start a family again. Unfortunately, the route to growing the family further was not a simple one. When Jody found out she was expecting her second child in 2010, the couple was ecstatic and eager to take on the world. However, pleasure was quickly replaced by despair when Jody's pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. The distraught couple decided to take a break from trying for a baby again and instead chose to focus on raising their beautiful son Finlay, who was a year old at that time. Slowly, Jody and Matt recovered from the tragedy and embarked on a new path. In 2011, the couple decided it was time to try again. After grieving and mourning their miscarriage while raising a beautiful young boy, Jody and Matt felt that it was finally the right time to start trying again for a second child. Hopeful and optimistic, the Parrys felt this time everything would be different and better. Keeping a positive outlook was always going to be the most important part. Their brave decision was quickly rewarded as Jody became pregnant soon after they began trying. Jody, like any other expectant mother, had her worries and fears. The first few months of pregnancy are always full of worries and questions. Her thoughts began to flood with recollections of her previous pregnancy. She felt things would be amazing and flawless if she had a strong support system around her, especially Matt. Jody couldn't stop thinking about how wonderful it would be for Finlay to have a sibling to grow up with and play with. When it came for the crucial ultrasound checkup, Matt and Jody realized this pregnancy was different from the last. They awaited the inspection and the results, praying and hoping they were correct. The doctor informed me of some excellent news. A heartbeat could be heard. This meant that the baby was doing okay and the pregnancy was perfect. The couple was overjoyed, knowing they could finally start planning for a second child without fear or worry. Their hearts were almost beating out of their bodies from the excitement and happiness. As if it weren't true enough, the doctor had more excellent news to share with them. After the couple had calmed down after their joy of discovering a heartbeat, the doctor explained that it simply wasn't one heartbeat after all. Jody's heart was actually divided into 2 parts. Jody and Matt were expecting twins. The news was almost too much to comprehend. It exceeded all of their expectations, and their happiness knew no bounds. This was truly a double blessing, maybe a correction of their past trauma. Whatever it was, the couple couldn't be any happier. Jody went into early labor on June 29, 2011. To deliver the twins, the parents went to the nearest hospital. Isabel and Abigail were born 6 weeks early and were sent to the newborn unit right away. Since they were born underweight and prematurely, they would receive the required treatment there. Regardless, the couple was simply relieved that the children were safe and receiving the best possible care. Finally, Finlay, their oldest son, had sisters, perfect twin sisters. Despite how tough it was for Jody to give her girls to the doctors after carrying them for nearly 8 months, she knew it was the best thing for them. Only 2 weeks after, the doctors took Isabel and Abigail to the neonatal ward. They called the happy couple. When Jody and Matt arrived, the doctor's face was gloomy and not optimistic like Jody and Matt were hoping for. The doctor asked the couple to have a private word with them, needing to discuss something with them about their daughters. Jody and Matt, judging by the doctor's expression, expected the worst, but didn't know what awful news the doctors would share. When Isabel and Abigail were taken to the neonatal ward, they were healthy. What could have gone wrong in just a few weeks? The first words uttered by the doctor were, "I'm sorry." Instantly, the couple knew that the girls had something wrong with them. What could possibly be wrong with these two angelic girls? When the doctor continued, he revealed that both twins suffer from Down syndrome. Jody and Matt were frightened and upset. "At that point, my world fell apart," Matt recalls. "I was heartbroken. I felt as though my heart had been ripped out." An understandable reaction to such news, especially when it comes as a shock. The parents, like so many other parents in similar situations, had no idea what to do. Jody and Matt appeared to be afraid. They had asked for a miracle pregnancy and were given twins, only to find out later that they have an incurable genetic disease. Jody and Matt were at loss for what to do. In a short second, their entire world had transformed. The couple had to make a hasty and emotional decision. Having premature babies comes with its own hardships, let alone two daughters afflicted with Down syndrome. What were they going to do now, and how would they look ahead at their life? Jody and Matt went to see their girls in the neonatal ward after the consultation. They both knew what to do once they spotted them. Every other emotion pales in comparison to love. This obstacle was seen by the parents as an opportunity, perhaps a miracle. The 1 in a million possibility that both twins would be born with Down syndrome had now become their reality. Jody and Matt knew that their love for Isabel and Abigail was limitless and unconditional, regardless of the difficulties they would face. They thought everything would work out since these were their daughters. However, they realized that the road ahead would necessitate more information than they had at that time, so they turned to the internet for assistance. At first, Jody and Matt were sure they could find what they needed online. Down syndrome, while uncommon, was not unheard of. They thought there must be dozens, if not hundreds, of resources online to help them through their journey. Regrettably, the pair were misinformed. Medical jargon abounds on the internet, which neither parent could comprehend. Worse, articles and websites frequently included contradictory information, leaving Matt and Jody even more perplexed. How could they ever parent a child if they had no idea what Down syndrome was? While the couple was not ashamed or sorry that they had beautiful daughters, the Parrys knew they had quite a road ahead of them. Jody and Matt discovered from the doctors that there are many health issues which can be associated with Down syndrome. The problem was that they couldn't know in advance which would affect their beloved twins. Down syndrome might put you at risk of a variety of health issues. In many cases, problems with vision and hearing, cardiac abnormalities, and glandular and hormone imbalances are frequent. Blood diseases and spine difficulties have also been linked to the syndrome. As a result, the couple decided to subject the girls to a battery of testing. After the girls had time to accept the news, the couple had them to do a series of tests to better understand their situation, including what symptoms they would experience. They learned that the girls had Down syndrome as well as a number of other health issues. Isabel had a tiny hole in her heart, while Abigail was deaf, according to the examinations. The twins also had a thyroid gland that is underdeveloped, which can cause sleep, body temperature, and weight issues. However, the couple would discover that parenting the new twins would be even more difficult than they had anticipated. Now that all was clear regarding the issues confronting the twins, the Parry family was facing quite a challenge in life. However, knowing they loved each other, their son Finlay, and their beautiful daughters, Jody and Matt believed everything would work out. Now they had to think ahead and figure out how to raise their beloved son alongside the twins Isabel and Abigail successfully. One thing Matt and Jody knew for sure was that they had to stay positive in order to get through all of this. Isabel and Abigail's parents wanted them to have a full and happy existence, full of the joys of childhood and adulthood. For parents whose children suffer from such problems, this is not a clear mentality. This, however, is what makes the Parrys so special and inspiring. Despite the difficulties and heartbreak they had to deal with, they loved their girls and believed in their right to a normal existence. The Parrys are a unique and great family because of their capacity to perceive the beauty that Isabel and Abigail have brought into their lives. If Finlay had taken a different path in life, Matt and Jody would have faced a greater problem. He, like his wonderful parents, finds only the good in his younger twin sisters and adores them. Finlay recognizes that his sisters require a little more attention and assistance than other children, and he does his best to assist his parents. Jody and Matt, being the wonderful people that they are, decided that they needed to spread the word and encourage other parents who had children with Down syndrome. To do so, they established the Twincess Trust. The foundation not only generates funds, but also encourages other families who have gone through similar experiences to share their tales. This way, the Parrys have set up a wonderful and a positive community. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel.